D-Mac Squad.
I don't even remember watching it, you know? Like, that's how bad it is. Like,
Man, I don't even blame you. I don't blame you.
yeah, Enderpig, don't watch Slender Man. It's so
Oh,
bad. It's so
okay.
bad.
If you were a fan of creepypastas, I'd really tell you don't watch this movie.
All right. The only
Yeah.
creepypasta I'm really familiar with is Hero Brian, or like I really was a fan of at least.
I didn't know he
Um,
was creepypasta. Cool.
It was.
he used to be considered that back in the day. Now he's more of like urban legend, I guess. Guess that's the same thing. I don't know.
Mm.
As someone
But
who's
I
been,
really just know about Minecraft creepypastas. I was never really like into it. I'm aware of the other ones, but
Yeah.
as somebody who just like was into the whole Slender Man thing when it came out and was even into creepypasta and stuff, this broke it when I first saw the trailer in 2018. It broke my heart because it's just like you're not gonna do him justice. And then it's
No.
the same people who popped out with Venom the same year. Not saying Venom 1 was bad, but like it wasn't also well received by most people either.
Right.
You
But at
you made
least,
this 4 years after a serious crime in which Slender Man, a fictional character, was blamed for it, even though he doesn't exist.
mhm.
And you made this also at a time when creepypastas was pretty much dead. Nobody was really making these stories or reading them like that no more. Creepypasta was virtually dead ever since the Slender Man thing. And like the town or like the city or state that had the serious crime take place, they banned any movie theaters from having this movie in. And Sony don't know what they have on their hands. They don't. You don't
Mm-mm.
know what you got, and you're just making a quick cash grab because oh my gosh, the internet loves Slender Man. We
Yeah.
need a Slender Man movie. If they made this during the time of like peak Slender Man, like fandom, it would still be terrible, but it would make a lot more sense. You did this after like post crime and like post creepypasta death. No one's gonna care. This is just a cash grab for a character you don't know anything about, and I don't like this movie.
Would you think that well, it might not even be possible. Do you think if it came around the time that creepypasta was popular, would the audience reaction be as popular as it was with like FNAF 2, which is like not great. Like, well, it's a bad
Maybe,
movie, but
maybe so initially, maybe. And what I mean by that is like you probably might see a lot of Slenderman cosplayers, a lot of Slenderman fanboys, fangirls show up to the theater. They probably say
yeah.
it's the coolest thing ever. In reality, they know it's trash, but they love their boy Mr. Slender, so you gotta support him.
Mhm.
yeah. Like we focused on just some main characters way too much, and it's there needs to be a balance of like showing the monster enough to where it's like about the monster. And
Yes.
you do want to keep like the hidden like horror aspect of it, but this
Uh-huh.
one's just like way too little. And in when they do show the monster, it doesn't look as good.
No. This is
CGI was not great.
I think
this
with
movie.
Slenderman. Sorry, go ahead. Though.
I was about to say this movie is more tell not show.
Yeah.
It's like if they had a Halloween movie and you just show Michael Myers for like 3 scenes and that's it. And until like he
Yeah.
gets to like his big climactic scene at the end of the movie, you barely show him, and it's just like we came to see Mike. We didn't come to see no one
Came to
else.
see Mike, bro. We don't want to see Lori.
I mean, like, am I wrong though? Like, we came
No.
to see Mike, not no one else.
Yeah.
We came to see Big Mike.
Hmm.
Big Mike. Also, I just want to shout out the new Slenderman game coming out.
There's a Slenderman game.
There's a new
Another
one
one.
coming
Yep.
out.
There's the third
Ooh.
installment. It's It's called It's called S Lost Chapters.
W.
So
Lost.
I'm gonna find a release date, predicted release date.
Okay.
Let's see here. It's just scheduled for 2026. So just shouting that out.
Nice.
Yeah. Since we're on the topic of Slenderman. So the thing with Slenderman is with the CGI, like you were saying, I don't know what was happening. I don't know the budget for this movie. Slenderman. This is
probably-
gonna 10
gonna be
million.
10 million.
I refuse to believe this movie was made with $10 million.
To put that in context, like Donovan said before, Iron Lung was made with under 3 million, and it was
under
still,
3 mil, and it
Yeah.
already made its money back
Mm-hmm.
that fast.
And Slenderman did great box office. Great
Really?
box office, yeah.
Well,
But-
well, of course, because of the Slenderman fans.
Yeah.
That's why.
But my thing with the CGI is, like, honestly, when it got to the up close and personal bits was when it was the best. But when they showed him from far away or at a distance, it just looked terrible. Like,
Yeah.
and no excuse to have that large of a budget. Granted, other movies have way bigger budgets, but to have that size of a budget and for the CGI to be that quality is like inexcusable. So
Yeah.
Not to mention you're a big budgeted company, Sonic. You could have done
yeah,
something.
it's
Yeah.
Sony of all people. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I just
They do not care about scripts for some reason.
They don't
Like-
care about making money. They just want a cash grab.
Mm-hmm.
like plot. If
What is the plot?
yeah? What if
What
it
is the
even a
plot? You're right.
The dialogue terrible.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, all it is like we have to find Katie. She's out there, and you don't care. You suck. And then it's like it's
Yeah.
just about that. Like it's not about anything else.
You
And-
knew this movie was bad when in the first 2 lines of the film, it was 2 of the friends watching a cat video. Main character says, "Oh, that's so cute." Other one says, "Oh, imagine if his head gets stumped in or something like that." And it's
Yeah.
just like, what are we doing?
and like it's the
Off the
overlapping dialogue. Like the editing is
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah.
You have
I think-
unlikable characters, terrible dialogue, terrible CGI, and like this, to me, a misinterpretation of what Slenderman is as a character.
I think where I feel like with a lot of when they tried to go for the trippy stuff, I feel like it was so close to being in the right direction,
Mm-hmm.
but there's always just something that messed it up. Like some of the schizophrenic looking scenes I thought were good, and then there are other times where it feels just feels cheap, and it feels like they're you know, like when you make like a crappy movie or like a crappy like video and they over edit it to compensate for that. That's what it felt like. And so
Yeah.
I mean, some parts with the schizophrenia aspects, and obviously it's not actual schizophrenia, but like those parts, they were good. Like some of them were good, and some of them were like so close to being the right direction. But then some of the scenes were just plain out stupid. Like I think one of the worst ones is when she's in the room and like the part where he wraps the fingers around her eyes. That was cool. But then the scene afterwards, it just wasn't scary because of like so many of the scenes aren't scary because they're not produced well.
Yeah.
And so it's like I can see the concepts of the idea that just weren't delivered, right?
Yeah.
I liked what they were doing with the schizo aspects and them kind of tripping out. I don't know why they were like when they were going through those things where it was like flashing images. I don't know why they like included like the Illuminati and stuff in there. I don't know where that came from, but
It's an over edited edgy art project is what they're doing.
Yes, and like about that, there is a website where you can watch a video and get Slender sickness or whatever it's called. Why
Yeah,
is
you
it
could just.
there?
You know what this reminds me of? That reminds me of like all those supposed dangerous curse videos you could find on YouTube. If you watch this video, you're gonna die. If you watch this video, you're gonna gouge your eyes out. If you watch this video, you get severely depressed. And it's like, if this is the video that summons Slender Man, that's not the video. Because why would it be on something so easily accessible?
Yeah,
And
why is that?
Why would this legitimately work?
Yeah.
This is also the same
It's like
website.
it's
that-
obscure. It's as obscure as like the hub. It's like, it's just like, why does the whole school have access to this website? Like, it's just like they try and make it seem edgy, but it's like I would think that it'd have to be like, you click on something that leads to a virus, and then that virus would download a software like that. I would have preferred that, rather than just some easily accessible website where it does that.
Also, the same kind of website that has actual like real life fan art, not like that's like made in the real world that they
not
put in
the
this movie.
Photoshop fan art, not the Photoshop art like Victor Surge made when he did originally make Slender Man. You don't get nothing cool like that. His art actually does show up one time, and it's like, dog, why didn't you show this beforehand?
It's like
It's like-
art. The art's like animatic art.
It's just
and
anime fangirl art of Slender Man. That's it. And I'm
first
thinking,
4 or 5 minutes into it.
you couldn't have like the cool Photoshop art like Victor Surge had. You couldn't at least have some cool gothic type artwork for this guy. Now he's just gonna use fan art from like a 13-year-old. You don't even have the thing that was famous in Slender Man media. You don't have the 8 pages, which showed up in the literal game Slender the 8 pages and Slender the Arrival. I'm thinking, in order to summon Slender Man or like remember him, you could have had it to where it's like, oh, we're camping out in the woods and we're gonna have some fun in the woods, kids. Next thing you know, you find out one of the 8 pages. What is this? Why is this here?
Incorporating the pages would have been.
You could have
way
incorporated that. That's bare bones essential knowledge for Slender Man. That's why I also say they misinterpreted this character, because that's been like a core aspect. Those 8 freaking pieces of paper have been a core aspect of Slender Man since the inception, and it's just like, you don't even have this.
Yeah.
Well, and
Really?
I don't hate where they were trying to go. It's just
I
they
don't
didn't
either. It's just
they just
like,
didn't direct it. They just
No.
there's no overall goal. The whole thing was just, it felt like a terrible version of Blair Witch Project, where it was just like, they find something weird and then they get mad at each other, and then one goes off and does something stupid, and that's it.
that's
and then
the
they all
thing
die.
too. They could have made it like the Blair Witch Project. Let's say it's like 4
Yeah,
teenagers,
like
a
a
couple
found- like a f-
campers going
Like
into
a
the
found
woods.
footage,
Found
footage
footage
kind of
horror.
thing would have been awesome. I would
They
have
could
loved to
have.
found
They
footage.
literally. Here's another thing too. I don't know if you heard about it. It's called Marble Hornets. They could have done something found footage horror like Marble Hornets did with Slender Man.
Yeah.
They didn't bother to do that either.
Yeah.
Bunch of campers or a bunch of teenagers about to go camping out in the woods, about to have a good old time, party, do whatever. Next thing you know, one of them finds the 8 pages. Shit hits the fan. That's how the movie starts, and then it just goes downhill from there. That's what you could have done instead of, oh, let's summon Slender Man on quote unquote YouTube, which
Yeah.
also doesn't have a name, but we're gonna call it YouTube because that's kind of what it is.
Yeah.
Because it's so easily accessible.
Or even if-
DeviantArt.com.
And have DeviantArt on the freaking fan page too.
Bro.
Or I also would have been cool if they did some kind of Friday the 13th style where even as overused as it is to go into the woods and then something like very like stereotypical horror, like
Yeah.
that still would have been better than how they, because I think that would have been easier for them to try and put off, like do,
Yeah.
but the way that they're trying to go was too advanced for them apparently, because they did it terribly. So
Yeah.
I think if they made it, if they try to like dumb it down a little bit and use a more stereotypical, like, either they want to go that direction that they did, make it quality, because it could have been good, but it wasn't, because your guys' visual effects are terrible.
Yeah.
The
It's
editing
not a-
is just the worst part of it.
Yeah.
And,
And,
and
the
the thing, go ahead.
no, you're good.
And the thing with like the Slender Man movie is like, of course, yeah, you could have the stereotypical, oh, bunch of people go to the woods angle, but in the case of Slender Man, that's pretty much his playing ground.
Yeah.
it makes sense for him. Just like Friday the 13th, it makes perfect sense to go out into the woods. You know,
Also,
it's just like
also the shaky cam when he was running towards the girl was really funny too, because it was
it's
just like,
crazy. That's the first time I ever seen Slender Man move his legs. He never does that. He mostly teleports, and I feel kind of weird about that. I feel weird about seeing him walk.
yeah. And I like what you said, Zane, about the characters, main characters losing. I did like that too.
Yeah,
I think
That's
that was
the best aspect of the movie, honestly.
yeah. I'm glad
That's
they
the
died.
only
They all
it's
suck
the only
anyway.
good aspect about that whole movie.
Yeah. And you know, to go back to Iron Lung, to do like the schizo, the psychotic stuff. Iron Lung did a much better job at showing Markiplier going insane, being stuck in there than.
Funnily enough, Markiplier plays Slender Man.
Hello, everybody. My name is Slender Man, and welcome to. So the first night's never usually that bad.
Starts. Oh dang! That'd be a spoiler. Crap! I can't say that.
Yeah, we
But
can't.
say an
we can't
Iron Lung
spoil it.
spoiler.
We can't do that.
But here's another thing they could have done too, and this kind of makes me mad. I understand if you don't want to make this movie rated R. There are good PG-13 horror films out there like Insidious, but when you show deaths and like deleted scenes in the trailers, that makes this film eye-catching and makes this film seem like there's actually something cool with them, and then you sit there and watch the film and none of these scenes are there.
Yeah.
What was the point of you showing me these in the trailer if you're not gonna have them in the actual theater?
Oh yeah, you wanna go with the dark, edgy style. I want to see some people get mutiled. Okay.
Yeah.
But like,
I want to see something bad happen. I want to see the extent of this psychosis because, yeah, you can be driven mad, but like some people want to put it into their own misery, like I'm not trying to be racist, but the token black kid.
She dies first of the alive friend group.
Yeah, she dies first by just getting stranglehold by Slender Man. When in the trailer, there was a scene of her in the science lab, picks a scalpel up, puts it to her eye, and then they cut away from the scene. There's another scene where one of the main male characters shows up. In the trailer, they see him jumping off of a building. That doesn't show up in the movie either. There's a scene of a girl police going to the forest. Girl looking zooted out of her mind, walking towards the police, and like old school, old timey sleepwear or whatever. You know, it's like she's gone, she faded. They don't even show that in the movie, and it's just like, what's the point of having these potentially really cool scenes?
Yeah, and I think a better direction they could have gone, even with.
That could have even shown the extent of Slender Man's power too. It's like, oh, I'm not only going to drive you mad, I'm going to drive you to the brink of you know what.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. I would have preferred if they went down the path where it's not even Slender Man physically getting at them. Maybe one or two of them, but the rest of them are driven mad and they do some crazy stuff. One of them goes insane, tries to attack a cop, and gets shot. And you know, like just some
becomes a proxy in the progress too while they do that.
Yeah.
So does Slender Man? I don't know anything about him really, but is he kind of like Pennywise, where he like sees your greatest fear or something like that, or is it different than that?
I don't think so. Not to my knowledge.
Okay.
Ooh,
I don't know, because maybe you could play into that, but that could that would change the lore a little bit though if you did that. But I don't know.
I mean, creepypasta lore is very inconsistent, even with things that Victor Surge himself like canonized, gave the okay to.
Yeah,
but that would make sense. You know what? Someone actually on Reddit made this thing where it's like, you know, the reason why Slender Man probably doesn't have a face is because that's what we don't perceive. When in reality, he does have a face, but what we perceive is just our fears over his face. When in reality, he has no face. Y'all could have done something like that too. You didn't.
Yeah, but he just has no face. Okay,
He's
I want
blank face.
I want a look-see movie.
I
Give
would
me a
love that.
look-see movie. David, do you remember look-see? We showed it to you.
I'm gonna have to look at it again. Here, I got it.
At some point, David, we should. They have like it's a mini series, and we could go through and watch.
Yeah.
A few episodes if you were interested.
Sure. Yeah, I remember what you're talking about now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Me and David even talked about this too. It's like, what's the dude who directed Nosferatu?
Robert Eggers.
What if Robert Eggers made a Slender Man movie?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
That would go hard.
It would go incredibly hard, especially if it has the same tone as Nosferatu.
Yeah. Even going back to Batman, what if he did a Batman movie? That would be legendary. That would be amazing.
Please.
That would be good.